much for tuning in. Frankers and I have been out visiting my old boss Al, giving him a hand with a couple of cars he's working on. And so today I would like to present part 3 of Myles rebuilding the 383 for his 1966 Monaco project. And not to be confused with the 67 Monaco that he's actually driving. Please enjoy, and please hit the old like button to say thanks to Myles. I know it does add a bunch of time to film this kind of stuff for us, and very much appreciated. Thanks so much, buddy. Hope you guys enjoy some cylinder head work on the 383 Chrysler, and Myles is going to take us through it. See you in a bit. Say hi, Breakers.
Okay, we got our cave set up. I discovered that I have 2 spring compressors, so I think I may have stolen one from Scott when I started doing the Buick, and I feel pretty bad that I haven't returned that yet. I also haven't finished the Buick, so we'll get to that soon, I hope. So, let's see how this goes. Normally I like this to be a 2-man job. This is what I have today. We'll see what happens. Why do I have batteries set up? Because it's winter and it's minus 20 something outside and cars don't want to start. So let's see if we can save a few batteries. Okay, finally got the first one out. I had to play Mr. Science here and magnetize my pick before I could get these out. I did it much more gently than I have in the past, and it appears to have worked. So we now have the first spring removed, keepers. We're going to throw everything in a bucket. Got very stiff valve seals, junk. And it looks like we're going to have to clean the heads up a little bit. We got a little mushroomed where the keeper was landing on it, so we can get onto that later. For now, we're just in the disassembly mode. Well, that one was just a bitch. I had to hit the top with a hammer to get it to break loose. I did not like doing that. Number 2 comes out no problem. Try again. I'll try hammering these a couple times just to loosen up the seal. Much easier. Okay, remember that next time. So far I have 4 keepers. I haven't lost anything yet. Much easier. Chunks of valve seals. These aren't very good valve seals. They kind of turn to a rock. Like that's supposed to be rubber. Not after so many years. Don't like doing that, but it seems to be necessary. As soon as I do, then they compress and come apart so much easier. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. 400 bit here. We'll just clean these valve stems up. Okay, all of them. we don't have any rust issues to deal with. Just some carbon, some dirt, lots of dirt. Lots of cleaning to do on these guys. But initially I don't see any problems with any of those seats. I don't see any major flaws there of any kind, so we're just going to go ahead and start cleaning these things up. Okay, that is pretty much as far as I can go on all angles with this bit. I love this bit. You can do so much with it. It's sharp as hell. It just never seems to wear out. I've done a few sets of heads with that, and I always start with that one. Get the majority of the cutting done. So you can see here, I can get inside and smooth some of the bowl. It might be hard to see, but right here in this area, there's a big lump of excess steel that's just left behind. And it kind of gets in the way of the flow as it comes into the head. So I like to work it down and smooth it as much as possible. Now, in this head, I'm not killing myself. I'm not taking it right out, which you can. I have in the past on other 906 heads. But I've done the majority to reduce it and smooth it. This is just the first stage, so nothing's looking that pretty just yet. But you can see in comparison, right here, that is a huge lump. I can get my camera kind of set up here. Huge lump of steel that gets in the way of flow as it comes around the valve stem. Also, if you can see how thick this is, I kind of chop them down, reduce it as much as I'm willing to do, and just get rid of some of that material there. Increase a little bit of the flow around there. Same with the exhaust. If you can see in here, but the exhaust that's down to less than 1/8 of an inch, and we started out with something that is easily, oh man, close to 1/4 of an inch. And when your exhaust is entering the chamber, it's hitting this big lump that just wants to slow it down, this big block. So little things I've done just to try and help out the flow a little bit. I'll flip the heads around and I'll show you a little more. Okay, looking at the top side, the roof, I guess you could say, of the exhaust ports, and just went in there and cleaned everything up. Didn't remove a whole ton of material, but you can, I put the gasket on here and put marker lines where the metal was larger than the hole of the gasket, and I just kind of removed it, matched it. Something interesting I just noticed in comparing the other head, try to get the light set up a little better here. We are generally at the same angle, okay? You can see this is more or less a straight shot to the valve support there. And we come to this head, and there's a massive ledge right here. Now, there's no way I went and removed, you know, what is that, 1/4 to almost 3/8 an inch of material. It's over here too. And putting the finger in, it kind of does a dip around. So this is round here. And I notice a few differences on the head. This one's stamped with a 13, this one's stamped with an 11. And you look at the part number and it's 516-5. And this guy is 516-7. So I don't know if this head happened to be an earlier cast and maybe they didn't set the roof properly on the sand casting. I don't know what the hell happened there. But there's a serious impedance on the roof of this head. And there's no way I'm going to be able to remove all of that material without busting into a water jacket or something. Well, what do you do, right? So it's kind of like if I'm trying to compare and show you what I've done, you're going to think that I've pulled 3/8 an inch of material out of here to get a nice roof. And there's no way I did that. I literally just went in and cleaned the surface of the head, did a little gasket match, and moved on. Like that, I'm going to do more, of course. This is just the first step with that one cutter. I'm going to move on to the long bit so I can get inside safely without worrying about damaging this with the head of the tool. And let's flip it around and take a look at the intake and see if we have any surprises over there. Okay, so just showing you the sealing again of the intake ports. You can see in comparison, you can kind of see how rough it is on the edge. You can also perhaps see the previous gasket markings. You can see kind of right there, that top edge. So if that's your gasket sealing, then you don't need all this material on the inside. It's just getting in the way and slowing your flow. So what I've done is come back and taken all that away. So again, if you can see, there's your corner. I could theoretically take that away, but it's a bit of a bitch and there's not much to gain. You don't really touch the floor. It's a slow airflow movement area, so you just leave that alone. But everywhere else, I've taken it out to the edge and cleaned up the sides, and then tried to transition that new area into the old so that we don't have any lumps or bumps for the air to get over top. There's still a bit of a bump here. I think this is a water jacket area, so I have to be really careful about how much material I take away from there. There's no way water is going between here, if you can see that. It's just way too tight, it's too close. There's a bit of a turn here that is definitely hurting the flow. I think this is for push rod to slide by, but I have taken some of that away just to open up airflow, and same scenario over here. Okay, that's done up now with the long shanked bit to get deep inside. You can see everything's polished up, nice and shiny. Feels pretty good. I could get in there. I think maybe for the intake side that's going to be good enough. You want to leave it a little bumpy. Maybe for the exhaust side I could give it a quick polish just to help those ports out as much as possible. These heads do have small valves. They're not the 181s. I think they're 174s if I remember right, just going off memory. So they need all the help they can get to get that exhaust out of here. But feels good. Got that all wrapped up. I mean, they look fantastic to me. Maybe that's hard to see on camera. It's hard to get the light in there just right. Show how everything's been cleaned up. But those are going to flow much better than they did before. I don't know what the time is. Wifey was just in. I think it's like 7:30. I started today around 11. So we're talking about 8-ish hours porting and polishing. I'm good for today. I might even take tomorrow off. Tune in with you guys soon when I tackle the other head that hasn't been started yet. To try showing that off again. Those are nice and slippery smooth inside now. I'm just going to put a light oil on them tonight so I don't come back and find them all rusty. Bare steel. It's probably moist in here in this garage with all the heat and the snow that's going on outside. We're just getting dumped on out there right now. So best to hide inside, right? In comparison, like especially if you just look at that center post and then you come back and you look at this center post. We've cleaned up those ports a lot, opened them up. Definitely going to breathe better. All right, I'm signing off.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching, and thanks again so much to Myles for taking so much time to film all that for us. We're going to be sure to get out there and check in on how the rest of that Monaco is going as soon as we can, and we'll see everybody on Saturday for more of the regular
same old shit.